This is Africa International Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to AITV. I'm Raf Tafan. In a show of unity, Africa celebrates every year during the month of May the founding of the Organization of African Unity on the 25th of May 1963. The organization is today known as African Union, and its commemoration is done every year by Africans all over the world in what has become known as Africa Day. In Stockholm, the 2015 Africa Day was organized by a collective of different African heads of mission in Sweden. The theme of this year's celebration was Women Empowerment and Development towards Africa's Agenda 2063. The day was marked by speeches, diverse cultural dance performances, fashion parades, as well as live performances by guest artists. The ceremony officially kicked off with a speech by the Dean of African Ambassadors to Sweden, who insisted that women play a vital role in politics and that more attention should be paid to their rights. Equally significant was a segment showcasing individual African women who have made great strides towards women empowerment in Africa. Speaking on the occasion, the Swedish Minister for International Development and Cooperation insisted that the struggle for gender and equality is not a soft issue, but a matter of life and death.
As we already heard from the previous speakers, although women has obtained greater power and influence over the past century and decades, women unfortunately still make up for the overwhelming majority of the world's poorest people. In many countries, women have no ownership and inheritance rights. As Monsieur l'Ambassadeur said, in Africa, for instance, women are responsible for 70% of agriculture production, but owns only 2% of the land. This deserves to be repeated. Repetition is the mother of knowledge, as you know, so remember this. More than 700 million women worldwide are subjected to violence by their husbands or someone else close to them. Women still die of childbirth and pregnancies. Around the world, violent fundamentalist groups are emerging who want to deprive women of opportunities or participation in political life, or economic empowerment, or access to health. The brutal advance of these groups shows very clearly that the struggle for gender equality is not a soft issue. Gender equality is a matter of life and death. Widespread violence against women and the oppression of women are a modern human rights scandal and represents a political failure of very, very big proportions.
Also speaking on women empowerment was Professor Beth Professor Beth forgive me, from Uppsala University, who said, if we don't take care of women, then we may as well forget about development altogether. I spoke with her during Africa Day this year, and she had the following to say.
Professor, thanks for giving us the opportunity to have a little chat with you. You are a professor in Uppsala University, and your activities, your research is related to women empowerment. And today is Africa Day, celebrated by Africans here in Stockholm, in the Scandinavian area. And the theme of today was women empowerment and equality between men and women, and development as well. Thank you. And what is your impression, your general impression about women empowerment and development back in Africa?
A lot of progress has been made on women's development and equality, but as I've also said, a lot remains to be done. And it is great that the African Union has put the decade, a new decade. You know, we had a decade 1975 to 1985. And of course, that made, of course, issues come into fore. It created a situation, a position where the government were taken into task, but still a lot remains to be done. And that African Union has seen the need to do another decade and to declare 2015 as the year for women empowerment and development, going towards the Agenda 2063, is still showing that it's a reflection on what has been done, but also on what remains to be done. So I think on the whole, it's a very good move.
In an important speech, the Egyptian ambassador to Sweden expressed the unique influence of Egyptian women in the country's democratization process and the historic role they played in Egypt throughout time. AITV spoke with the Egyptian ambassador on women empowerment in Egypt, and he had the following to convey.
And women has a historical role in the history of Egypt. We cannot deny that. Egypt was the first country in the history of mankind to have a queen lady, and Egypt also has laws for the women, and I think that the women are getting the rights in Egypt to a certain extent. I'm not saying that they are getting the full extreme rights, but within our culture and within our values, I think women are getting better and better position and conditions every day.
And do you think that there is one or two more things that need to be done to promote this? Or do you think what women have achieved so far, it's enough?
No, it's never enough. There are still more things to be done. I believe education is the corner square for everything. We have to enhance education all over Egypt.
A live performance was also given by a guest artist from Rwanda, Miss Teta Dianna, who moved the audience with her powerful lyrics about forgiveness and embracing each other after 21 years of genocide in Rwanda. She conveyed the following message in a little interview between me and her.
It's a very good event. It's a very good idea to think about women. And I mean, I'm here to represent also the women in Rwanda, which is part of Africa. So it's a privilege to be here.
And you as a woman, you're self-made, I should say, as a successful musician. You did a great job in there, by the way. What do you think that other women in Rwanda who don't have the talent that you have, what is it that they need to do?
I just think they have to come out, find out what is it that you can do, and do it. Don't fear anything. You should do it because you can. You're a woman, you can, and you're blessed as a woman because you are the reason why the world keeps expanding. You give birth. It's a valued gift that I value a lot, so I have respect to all the women around the world. So they should come out and speak for themselves and dare. What is it that you can do? Do it. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. That's all we had packaged for you today. Goodbye.